Here, got a little bit of sound for us. And so first of all, it's great to see everyone, number one, in person, and number two, in turquoise level. So, you know, we got the green light for 250 people. We're well within the health order. Good job, everybody. It is great to see folks out and exercising and enjoying each other and the city of Albuquerque. So I'm going to share a couple of things. We have what for a particular community is a very big announcement, and also a real pride point for our city as part of our sports tourism efforts. And so there's a number of folks who are going to be speaking today, and I just want to highlight, we're going to hear from our Parks and Recs director, the head of Rocky Mountain Pickleball, and the CEO of Visit Albuquerque, and I'll kick things off with a few remarks here. So first of all, I know many of us, look, we had to postpone so many of our favorite things for the pandemic. Luckily, because it was outside, for a long time now, we've been playing pickleball. But, you know, inside's been a challenge, but we're even going to get back to that. And by the way, yes, the Domingo Baca new gym will be pickleball transformable. So just to let folks know, there'll be a nice indoor facility there. Yeah. And also, of course, you know, just want to thank everyone for following the public health orders in the different versions. You know, there was a time when we could only have like every other court and all this stuff. So just appreciate all the players' patience, especially. And I also just want to mention, you know, a lot of people in Albuquerque don't know what pickleball is still. So one is, what you got to know is it's a huge sport, and it is growing rapidly all over the country, probably the world, but it's a big deal. So if you don't know what pickleball is, don't be confused by the name. It has nothing to do with pickles. That's what my 5-year-old asked me this morning. So anyway, it's you can kind of see it's a combination. What's the tagline? It's a combination of tennis and ping pong. So tennis meets badminton and ping pong. There you go, pickleball. I played a little bit on Civic Plaza a couple years ago, and I owe my dad a match soon. So he's a regular. So Albuquerque, the mayor's office, has its own pickleball ambassador. So we're going to put him on the spot. There's my dad. I rarely get to see him at a press event. Mike Keller, the mayor's office pickleball ambassador. Perfect. Here in the flesh. And twice a week for a couple hours in the morning. So, okay, let's see. A couple of things to mention. We are bringing all sports tourism back to Albuquerque. So this turquoise level is happening just in time, and of course, hopefully full openness in June. And as a reminder, sports tourism is a big deal in a lot of ways. We always think of like larger events, whether it's the UNM, not the UNM, the NCAA indoor championships down in downtown at the convention center. But what we love about sports tourism is it also impacts the whole city. And so you see it, it's all about tournaments too. People ask me like, what's sports tourism? The short story is it's tournaments. It could be high school tournaments, it could be junior league tournaments of any sport. It could be adult tournaments, even senior tournaments. So we see it in softball, we see it in baseball. Now we're gonna see it in pickleball. And we even saw it, that's right, we even saw it in horseshoes, by the way, if you're out at Los Altos for the big horseshoe tournament. So people actually drive in, right, to Albuquerque for this from all over the Southwest, and they spend money in our restaurants, they stay at our hotels, and we want to help all hotels, and this is one way too, where we really help hotels all over the city, right? We always want to help hotels downtown, but it's also about the whole city, and that's why sports tourism is just a really good mix for us in terms of economic development, and it's coming back. So today we are announcing the inaugural New Mexico Open Pickleball Tournament. Hold up your pickleball paddles, whoever has them. There we go. And so we are off and running with that. And we are also going to host the first ever regional pickleball tournament. So in Albuquerque, the Rocky Mountain Pickleball Association and the city of Albuquerque are proud to partner in September 2nd to the 6th. Mark your calendars, because we're going to have hundreds of players from all over the Southwest, including nationally ranked professional pickleball players. And so game on, and our New Mexico team is going to take them on. So very excited. Round of applause. We'll hear more about this. Good stuff. So this is one of the first largest sports events too that we're hosting, sort of coming out of the pandemic, but also at this great facility. And so I'm going to wrap up my portion. We're going to hear a little bit more about this, but we are pairing this tournament with some expansion that I know folks have been excited about for some time. So number one, in the plan, we're working on finishing the funding, getting it done. In the plan is better bathrooms. So I have heard that, we're going to get that. We're also going to fix the drinking fountain. So, we're getting her done. We also are, by the way, moving that whole recycling world. We're finding a new location for a number of reasons. It's just, we need the parking. It's for a whole host of reasons. We're going to be moving that. And also to help our friends out at the Manzano Mesa Multi-Gen Center, of course. And the big news is we are adding more courts. So we're going to try, so we're going to try and get phase 2 done. So some big changes. And for me also, it's great to be out here because, I used to live right across the street. So literally remember when this was a dirt lot just a couple of years ago, and the neighbors asking when we were going to do anything, and we got this great playground in, put lights all over. This, of course, is a lit pickleball field, which is great for the winter or the summer when it's super hot out. And so this facility is really just coming along nicely, and we're going to be adding to it. And we're able to do that because of the help of some of our state legislators. I had a question, where'd the money come from? Great question. So some is from the city, but a big chunk is from our state through their capital outlay. So we're going to let our state representatives who are here, there's 2 of them that are here, and they put in their kind of personal money. And so I want to start, actually, let's go kind of in reverse order. So we're gonna hear second from the representative who represents this area who helped out. But first, I want to introduce Representative Marion Matthews, because she put money in this even though she doesn't represent the area. That's a real commitment to pickleball. Representative Matthews.
Thank you, Mayor. I first gave money to pickleball last year, and in part because I had a lot of mature adult friends like myself who said this is the greatest sport and we need to grow it, and it's going to be great for Albuquerque and it's going to be great for the state. And this year, it's not our personal money, it's your money that we're spending. And it was on the list again, and I knew a little bit more about it and about a possible tournament and so forth. And in this session, we really made a commitment to invest in New Mexico and in our people and in our facilities. And I am so proud to be helping and investing in this facility, because this is quality of life, makes for a great city, and we need to keep doing more of this as far as I'm concerned. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Representative. And we also got help significantly from Senator Bill Tomlin. He's not here, but let's give him a round of applause. Thanks, Senator Tomlin. Oh, he is here. Do you want to say anything? I did. I know. All right, we'll keep it short. Oh, don't say. Don't worry, his district has lots of pickleball needs. So he represents Northeast Heights over there. Thank you, Senator Tomlin.
Thank you.
He's got a great sense of humor too, by the way. There you go. Love it, love it. And also the representative from this area, she's going to yield the balance of her time, as they say. But let's thank Meredith Dixon, also from right here in this area. Representative, thank you. Okay, so with that, let's hear all those details, all the questions that I know some of you had. The man with all the answers, who is in charge of every park, every swimming pool, every, what else do you have? Something else big. Oh, golf courses. And the little leagues, and the balloon fiesta. Dave Simon, Director of Parks and Rec.
Thank you, Mayor. It is awesome to be in turquoise today, right? We kind of were anticipating this for a year with our parks turquoise, mass. We've been really eager to take them off. Well, as most folks know, Mayor Keller is quite an athlete himself. He's a regular visitor to our parks and open space. areas, and we really appreciate all of his support for Parks and Rec. I think he lives it every day with the First Lady and the kids. And you know, you played a different sport in high school than pickleball, but and I'm kind of a recent convert to pickleball. But I think both of us, hey, I've got the gear. I love it. Got my wife to put in pickleball courts where she's in control. So we're spreading the gospel. But I think the mayor and I have both really enjoyed learning this sport and getting into it. And I don't know, Mayor, we should maybe team up and take some parlay bets, and we'll put the money into the homeless housing fund or something.
Sounds
you know?
good.
Okay. If you want to play the mayor and me, we could work it out. All right. Just got to let him win. Got to let him win. So as the mayor said, you know, pickleball is probably the fastest growing sport in the world, and it's just seen double-digit growth rates, and we've seen that here in our great city. So we want to accommodate that for our residents and also build pickleball into our economic development future. And why not? Albuquerque is perfect for pickleball. You know, our mild climate supports year-round play. The sport's clearly growing with the Burqueños, and as we know, Albuquerque is an attractive destination and can successfully host major tournaments in our city. Indeed, pickleball players were the largest cohort of athletes during the National Senior Games in 2019. Over 1,200 of those 14,000 athletes who came here were pickleball players. And this place was hopping for 9 days. And during the Senior Games, the pickleball players alone pumped over $1.5 million into our local economy. So with 700 to 1,000 players expected at the inaugural New Mexico Open in September, you can see how the New Mexico Open is a big deal. And we really look forward to partnering with Don Siegel, the organizer, and we look forward, Don, to perhaps it becoming an annual event. Now, our Manzano Mesa pickleball complex here, of course, is our most significant pickleball facility. We have 18 courts here, 12 of which are lit for nighttime play. And this complex served us very well during the National Senior Games. And it's going to be a fantastic location for the New Mexico Open. But to provide an improved venue for the New Mexico Open and other tournaments, and to provide our local players, including adults, kids, all ages, we want to provide them the best facility possible. We need to add additional courts and amenities to this facility. So our long-term plan is to add as many as 12 additional courts on the north side of the existing courts, including, we hope, a center court. Yeah. So if you crave the limelight, you got to make it to the center court, along with spectator seating, restrooms, and other features that will give us one of the best facilities in the Southwest. And if we host just one major tournament each year, this project will have a positive return on investment in 2 or 3 years. It'll be gravy after that. And the mayor's a good numbers guy. He's a business consultant. And that ROI thing is important, right? All right. Well, this is major ROI for Albuquerque. So with the outstanding support from our legislators, combined with other city funds, which our voters, we hope, will support in the next bond election, this should allow us to complete phase 1 of this expansion project. The state capital outlay funds, which were generously provided by a large number of our legislators, those funds will not be available until the fall of 2021. So we won't really be able to start on the expansion until early next year. But Parks and Rec is going to be a strong partner with the New Mexico Open, and we're going to take a lot of steps to support them in a very, very successful launch of this exciting new event in Albuquerque. So finally, I'd just like to acknowledge that we're here today by so many devoted local pickleball players, many members and leaders of the Albuquerque Pickleball Club, We have officials here from the Southwest section of USA Pickleball, the national sanctioning organization. So I know I can't name all of you, but I want to just give an extra shout out, special recognition to folks like Gary Rutherford and Joyce Paulson, Larry and Judy Light, who are behind me, I think. There they are. And many, many others of you have enjoyed the game. Your enthusiasm, your efforts are making a huge difference. And it's the reason why we're now able to get started on projects and why we're so optimistic about the future of pickleball in Albuquerque. We have an optimistic mayor, thank goodness, because the best days are ahead of us for Albuquerque and for sports and sports tourism in our city. I look forward, and I know the mayor looks really forward to leading that effort with you. Thank you so much for all you players do for our community, and we'll see you at the New Mexico Open.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Director Simon. And now we want to introduce, you know, the head honcho, the big cheese, the guy who's looking around for someone else. Don Siegel's here, Director of Rocky Mountain Pickleball, the guy responsible for bringing the tournament to Albuquerque. Come on up, Don.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here in this great opportunity, and thanks for you guys being here. You know, as Director of Rocky Mountain Pickleball, you know, as an organization and also representing and on behalf of the PPA, I can't tell you how thrilled we are to be bringing this tournament to Albuquerque and the Manzano Mesa courts. Sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied because I'm not used to this many people looking at me. So anyway, but we really are thrilled. You know, it was about a year ago that a good friend of mine and some of yours, Greg Wellington, suggested that we come down and take a look at the Manzano Mesa courts and, you know, think about it for maybe a tournament. We did that, had the pleasure of meeting a lot of the folks at Parks and Rec. And following that, the PPA and Rocky Mountain Pickleball decided that we're going to commit to this. And we started the process back then, and since have continued rolling with it. The support that we're getting from the city, Visit ABQ, the Sports Commission, Parks and Rec, of course, has been phenomenal. And it's something that we're looking forward to collaborating with over the next several months, and we're going to make this tournament very, very special. We've got a great venue that we're all going to be working together on. We're introducing a tournament as Dave mentioned. We're anticipating 700 to 1,000 athletes that will be participating. They'll be coming from literally all over the country. We've got age brackets that go from 12 plus up to 65 plus. So we've got a wide variety. Most of the people that are going to be participating, the majority, I would say, probably 70%, are going to be coming from outside the Albuquerque area. So the support that we feel we're going to be contributing to the local economy is going to be great. We know the local pickleball community is a vibrant one. You can see that on most days. I think they're all quiet now because they're afraid something's going on over here. But it's you know, the courts are full. It is a representation of what's going on throughout the country. As the mayor may have mentioned, it's the fastest growing sport in the country right now. We've got over 4 million players. We've got a long way to catch up to the tennis players, but we're going in that direction. You know, we really are. But anyway, as far as the tournament itself, we're going to have the tournament over 4 days. As has been mentioned, we're going to start the tournament on September 2nd and go through the 5th. The competition, the events, we break down the events in a pickleball tournament into different skill and age brackets. In our tournament, we've got 3.0 up to 5.0. So those are what the amateur ratings are. We use an established rating system for that. In addition to that, at our tournament, at our national tournament, we're delighted to be bringing the top pros in the world. They really are exciting to watch. We're with the number one player, a kid named, he's a kid to me, he's 22 years old. Ben Johns is the undisputed world champion right now. Ben is super excited about coming to Albuquerque. I just spoke to him last week at the Open. You know, he's a great guy. Like I said, 22 years old, still in college and still going to college. Somehow he does that and still maintains the number one ranking. But in addition to Ben, we've got numerous other pros. We've got Simone Jardim, who is the number one women's player in the world. Riley Newman, Tyson McGuffin, names that anybody that follows pickleball will know and are very familiar with. They will all be here, and we're thrilled to death about that. The tournament is a big commitment for us as organizers. That goes without saying, but I wanted to reiterate that we're also going to be reaching out to the local community, ABQ Club, for their support as volunteers. An event like this just can't happen without a significant army, if you will, of volunteers, and we really appreciate that. We'll be reaching out through a local organizing committee to hopefully get that all happening in a relatively short period of time here. But it's the excitement of the tournament is something that we know your city is ready for. Manzano Mesa is prepared. We're going to make sure that we transform this place into an exciting event venue, and I know we're going to get there. But again, really, that's what I've got to say about the tournament. We're thrilled, we're excited, and we're looking forward to hopefully seeing you all there. So thanks a lot. All right.
Sure. Very, very special. So we have one more guest speaker that we want to introduce, and she's the woman in charge of all our tourism in Albuquerque. And a lot of people ask me, they're like, well, who runs the tourism department? And we actually, we contract with Visit ABQ to do that. And so we're joined by the CEO of Visit ABQ, Tanya Armenta. Tanya?
All right, thank you very much, Mayor, and to Director Simon as well. I want to say first thanks to Don for the commitment to Albuquerque. Awesome, thank you very much. So as you can imagine, as the mayor said, if you're involved in tourism, you're pretty excited about moving to Turquoise, pretty excited about the notion of full reopening, and you're really excited and honored to bring back prestigious sporting events to the city. The event that we've just talked about reiterated how much it means to the city in terms of the economy and the community. It was, looking around, I think the other thing I want to note is that it takes locals that are passionate about these sports to make sure we make the investment, we do the infrastructure. Did I not get too much? All right. We take the infrastructure and the investment seriously, that we're going to bring the volunteers out to support these events, to make them successful. So I want to say thank you to everyone that's here today for that support for this pickleball community. That's wonderful. So I just wanted to end, Mayor talked a lot about sports tourism because we are so excited the timing of moving into Turquoise. We do want to talk a little bit more broadly about sports tourism. So beyond pickleball, want to talk about some other events that have already committed back to Albuquerque that are going to take place in the next few months here. One is the Pathway Albuquerque. Another is Texas Premier, the New Balance West Championship. Both of those are baseball events that are going to be back in Albuquerque. So we want to talk a little bit about the vibrancy, the activity, and all of the camaraderie that comes from these events. Want to also note that both of those events that I just mentioned, they took place in Albuquerque in 2019. They wanted to be here in 2020, and due to the pandemic and our restrictions, they weren't able to do that. They both went to other states, held their events in other states. So what's remarkable is they're back in Albuquerque, committed to Albuquerque in 2021. So that speaks to the strong partnerships that exist. It speaks to that investment that we've made in our facilities, and it speaks to the strong hospitality here in our community. So just really signals positive things for Albuquerque. we're proud, as the mayor said, we're proud of the work that Albuquerque residents and New Mexicans have done to get us here today. You know, it's been a very difficult year, so the notion to talk about this vibrancy, this excitement around sporting events and other events is really remarkable. And we know that the safe return of these events are going to be pave the way for a strong recovery. I just thought I'd give a little bit of context of how important sports tourism is. On an average and typical year, the bookings that our sports commission at Visit Albuquerque are involved with would result in an estimated 130,000 hotel room nights, occupying 130,000 hotel room nights, bringing 250,000 attendees, and it equates to $56 million in direct spending. And I want to note that's just the events that Visit Albuquerque is involved in booking. And I want to give a shout out to someone who works really hard on this. I want to say thank you to Angie Jepson, our senior sales manager from the Sports Commission. It's remarkable in that. So just want to say thank you to everyone involved in making this a reality for Albuquerque, for this new event. Thank you to everyone that's made this possible to be back hosting events. And we look forward to the strong recovery of not only sporting events, but leisure travel, meetings and conventions. Ultimately, what that's going to do is mean put more of our community back to work and a strong recovery for Albuquerque. So thank you.
Okay, so we are going to be able to take a few questions, and Jessica will lead us in that. I do want to mention, just to clarify one thing, we were excited to announce the tournament and the expansion, but those are happening at different times. So the expansion is funded, but now the design and the bond issues and all this. So we're probably about 2 years out, just to be conservative on completing that project. But it's on the books and in the works. But I just wanted to make sure everyone knows it's not going to be done by September. But luckily, they're coming anyway, because this facility is still in great shape. So, okay, Jessica.
Mayor, we have a question from Brittany Maid at QE. She wants to know about indoor tournaments and what that looks like this year.
Okay, good question about indoor tournaments. And Dave Simon might want to speak to this, but I think, you know, essentially in turquoise and expecting fully open in June. You know, there's a green light for indoor tournaments. Those are technically right now, they're sort of organized by individual groups or locations. And so expect to see a lot of those, but they're not, you know, formally affiliated with the entities that are putting this on. There you go. Yes.
Are there any plans to light the last 6 courts here? Because in summer play, you know, it's really, we run out of lit courts to play at night.
Q, Director of Parks and Rec.
Right. Great question. You know, Albuquerque has a competitive advantage because it's beautiful here 24 hours a day, and but lit courts really expand our capacity. So in this particular setting, though, we're very kind of respectful of our neighborhood setting here. So these 6 courts that are not lit don't have lights through because of a conversation we've had with the adjacent neighborhood. So, but when we expand the facility, we'll be able to design and build courts that will have additional lit courts.
Nice. All right, I think that's all. So, sure.
We got bad luck with our bathrooms. They've been burned and the laboratories have been burned. So I suggested to him that they put the bathrooms so that they cannot be entered after 10 o'clock. The lock goes on and they're solid.
Nice. So a little comment on the bathrooms, and they're working on a new plan for them in terms of locking them and whatnot. And then the new plan will actually have real bathrooms. So those are on the way that'll be locked and so forth. So
They'll be built before the 2 years.
within 2 years.
Yeah.
So hang in there.
Those are very important elements of the plan.
If you wanted to sign up for this,
That's a good question, Pickleball Ambassador. How do you find out more information about signing up for either tournament? Go ahead.
Thanks for the question. That was an obvious mistake on mine not bringing that up. So the actual sign up is through pickleballtournaments.com. So that's pretty much the standard for most pickleball tournaments. You can always reach out to us at RockyMountainPickleball.com for any other information, but we put most everything on that. As far as sign up, You would need to establish a pickleballtournaments.com account, which is free. It's very easy, takes about 5 minutes to do. But then you just go ahead and register for our tournament through that. Yep. So.
Thanks. Any
All right.
paper method?
No, there is no paper method.
All
It's
right.
all
We'll work on
online.
it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I think we got time for
Thanks,
one
guys.
more. Yeah.
Tim, when you lived across the street, Linda